students, how are you doing? Today I'm going to teach you a geography lesson. No, I'm not talking about any chapter in geography. It's a poem in your class 8th book, Geography Lesson, written by Zulfikar Ghosh. In this poem, the poet has expressed his feelings as he's traveling in a plane and he's looking down from the plane. He sees the cities, he sees the land down, and he just imagines, he just realizes and thinks why the cities have developed in the way they are, why it was unavoidable. There are three stanzas in the poem where he has expressed his opinion about the way it is. He has also understood why the logic of geography. He also sees from a certain mile that the earth is round, and he also understands all these things. He has also taken jibe in human mindedness in the last paragraph, where he says that the logic of geography is clear, but it is not clear why human on earth they have found reason to fight with each other, and they have built walls of hatred around each other. Let's understand the poem paragraph wise. Para 1. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had. So when the poet's jet went into the sky, he looked down and he saw, and it was clear to him that why the cities they have developed in that way. What way? Seeing it scale 6 inches to the miles, there seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard, unplanned, and without style. So here, in sprang means to rise, inevitability means something which is unavoidable, and haphazard means which is not made in a certain way. So when his plane went from 6 inches to miles, and he looked down, it seemed that the way city has developed on ground, that means in a haphazard way, it was inevitable, it was unavoidable, inevitable, it was unavoidable. Why? Because it was not developed as per certain plan, it was developed as per the necessity of human being. Whatever was necessary for them, they kept building. If they wanted to build a building, they have built. If they wanted to build a hospital on a certain place, they did that. If roads were necessary, they did that. So it was necessary to build the cities in the way they were, so it was unavoidable, it was unplanned. So when you go walk around your city, what do you see? Do you see a certain planning? No, you don't see any planning. The way they are haphazard. Everything is like out of order. Nothing is planned. So when he rose, when his plane went up into the sky, he realized why it is haphazard, because it was according to the need of human being. What was necessary, they have built it. Let's see the summary. When the poet's plane rose high up in the sky and he looked down, he realized why the cities have developed in the way they are, that is haphazard. He realized that cities have developed as per the necessity of human and not as per some plan. Okay, let's see the rhyming schemes. If you see the last words of the poem, sky, city, had, mile, nothing is rhyming. So A, B, C, D. Now inevitability matches with city. So it is B. Haphazard with had. So it is C. It is not properly clear here. It will be clear in next stanzas. Style matches with mile. So D. And sky with sky. So the rhyming scheme is A, B, C, D, B, C, D, A. Now also see some figure of speech. If you see these lines, sprang into the sky, closely placed words, S is repeating. In second line also I and S are repeating. So what is this figure of speech called, students? When closely placed letters are repeated, it is called alliteration. So here in these lines there is alliteration. So I hope this stanza is clear. Let's move to second stanza. When the jet reached 10,000 feet, it was clear why the country had cities where the rivers ran and why the valleys were populated. So when his jet reached further 10,000 feet, it was clear to him why the countries and cities are developed where there is water. So you must have read in your geography and in your history as well that the human population was more where there is water bodies, because water is very important for human beings for their daily activities, for their business, for transportation, for irrigation. So cities are mostly developed where there are water bodies. And also valleys were more populated. Why valleys are populated? Because they are piece of land which is kind of plain, where doing certain kind of work is not that difficult, it is easy, and which is more fertile. So cities are developed where there are water bodies and valleys are more populated. So this logic of geography was clear to the poet. What is the logic of geography? That land and water attract men. It was clearly delineated. Delineated means shown or visible. It was clearly visible from 10,000 feet, the logic of geography, that cities were developed where rivers ran and valleys were populated. Now let's see summary of this. When the plain rose to 10,000 feet, the logic of geography, that cities developed besides river and water bodies and valleys are more populated, was clear to the poet. Rhyming scheme again A, B, C, D, B, C, D, A. And in the line rivers ran, there is alliteration. Okay, now let's see the last stanza. When the jet rose 6 miles high, it was clear the earth was round and that it had more sea than land. So you all know that earth is round, and if you have ever traveled in plane, you will see when your plane goes very high, you can see certain round mark at a large distance. So it shows that the earth is clear, that the earth is round. So it was clear to the poet when his jet went to 6 miles that the earth is round, and also there is more water on earth than land. But it was difficult to understand that the men on earth found causes to hate each other, to build walls across cities, and to kill. From that height, it was not clear why. But what was unclear to him? That men on earth fight with each other, they kill each other, they built walls of hatred. Why do they so? Why do they do so? It was not clear to the poet from that distance. So all the logic of geography was clear. It was also clear that there is more water than land. It was also clear that the earth is round. But what was unclear? That men on earth, they hate each other. They fight with each other. Let's see the summary. When the jet reached 6 miles high, it was clear to the poet that the earth was round and it had more water than land. But one thing that was unclear to him from the height was why people on earth found causes to hate and kill each other. Why they have built walls across the cities, the walls of hatred. It was unclear to the poet. So students, I hope you have understood the poem. Zulfikar Ghosh, who is the poet of the poem, is a novelist, poet and essayist. He was born in Sialkot, which is now in Pakistan, and after partition, his family moved to Mumbai. So he currently resides in Texas in USA, and he has written many poems on his travel experiences. And this poem Geography Lesson is also one of his travel experience. Now see some notes on the poem. First of all, form of the poem. The form of the poem is lyrical. Like we saw in the last poem, The Ant and the Cricket, the form was, it was a fable. Here, the form of the poem is lyrical. What is a lyrical poetry? Lyrical poetry is one in which the poet expresses his certain feelings and emotions about certain things. So here the poet has expressed his feeling about how he feels about earth and human on earth. So a lyrical poetry is generally written in first person because the person is expressing his feelings and emotions. Now can you tell me the theme of the poem? Yes, it is urging universal peace. Why peace is necessary on earth. Wars will destroy the planet. So theme is universal peace. Also, literary devices, we have seen what is the rhyming scheme, we have seen alliteration in the poem itself. Now, there is one more literary device, one more figure of speech, which is visual imagery. What is an imagery? Imagery is a poetic device where the poet engages the sense of human being, like sense of hearing, sense of taste, smell, or touch. Now here the poet has given a vivid picture of land as it is visible from the sky. So he has given a clear picture how the land would be visible. If you read the lines, there a picture will form in your mind about the visibility of earth. So here there is visual imagery. So I hope you have understood the literary devices. Now let's see some question answers in the poem. Okay. What geography lesson did the poet learn in the poem? What does he learn? We have seen in 3 different stanzas that he's learning 3 lessons of geography. So first, in first stanza, he learned why the cities has developed as per the way they are. They have developed as per the necessity of human and not as per the planning. In the second stanza, he understood the logic of geography, why cities were more populated, where there were land and water bodies, where there were valleys and water bodies. And in the third stanza, he understood that the earth was round and it had more water than land. So these are the lessons, geography lessons, that the poet had learned. So what is the logic of geography as per the poem? As per the poem, the logic of geography is, what is it? That land and water attract men. Countries have cities where rivers run and where valleys are. So this is the logic of geography. Let's see another question. What was clear and what was unclear from a height? From a height, it was clear that cities were developed as per the necessity and not as per the plan. It was also clear that cities were developed near land and water, the logic of geography. And one more logic of geography was clear, that the earth was round and it had more water than land. But one thing, certain thing, which was unclear. What was unclear? What was unclear was that men on earth found causes to hate each other and built wall across the cities and killed each other. So it was unclear from that height. Okay students, I hope you have understood the poem. If you still have any question, any difficulty, please ask me, leave a comment in the comment box, and I will definitely answer that question as soon as possible. Thank you for now.